well, I just smoked a little bit of weed, you know, and then he gave me the marijuana stick, and, you know, I smoked it and I found out I was smoking a wooly. First of all, crack cracks, okay? Like I said, crack quacks. I ain't never smoked the shit, but I've heard it before, and it crackles, okay? You smoking it, okay? And you saying, ooh, this is crackling. This is crackling. Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe, because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5. You babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about DMX and exposing some of his truths. Now, before we get started, I know some of you hoes is ready to pounce on me, okay? Because a whole lot of you ladies still mad and in your feelings because you didn't get that DMX. So DMX was born December 18th, 1970, a Sagittarius. Okay. Ooh, I know one, y'all. I had one. Ooh, my goodness. They are the alpha males. Now, Mr. Sagittarius Earl Simmons grew up in Yonkers. Okay. Oh, that's the RTD, the rough, tough, and dangerous. You ninjas done told me fables about the Yonkers. All I know is I don't want to go. He was the child of a single parent, okay? He and his sister, Bonita, all right? The thing about DMX that I found to be jarring to me was how much pain he harbored about the discipline that he received from his black mother. Hold on tight, y'all. Hold on tight, because like I said, I'm finna say some stuff that's gonna, you know, put you in your feelings. He said that his mother would just beat him excessively, okay? Now, because he's a Sagittarian, I mean, like all fire signs, them fire signs, they rebel, okay? Hey, I mean, good luck, okay? And to me, he just came across as just a bad little boy, you know, who may have had some undiagnosed mental concerns like ADHD or ADD or bipolar or something like that. Because he was literally saying that when he was in school, he would stab some of the kids in the school with pencils. Okay, this is not what I said. This is what he said. This is what Earl said. How he reflects back on how his mother would leave him hungry. Okay, he's saying that his mother locked up food in her room. You know, he took that so personal and so to heart. You know, now them Sagittarius, they will cry, okay, but they will also bop your ass. You hear me? But anyway, because of the fact that I'm like, how many women, like my not my grandmother, but my sister grandmother, because she had a house full of kids, a house full. She used to, you know, lock her freezer up, okay? Because she knew that if she went to the grocery store, the kids would eat up all the cereal, okay? So she had to do things like that. Now, I'm not dead. I wasn't dead. I don't know that man, mammy. I don't know how she conduct her business, but what I will say is basically, you know, I think he just took some things a little too personal, okay? And he was a little too emotional, okay? Sagittarians, again, they sensitive, they will cry, but they will buck your ass. He even reflected back on a time where he said that his mother had locked the food in the closet And he was so hungry that he drank perfume because it smelled good. Okay. That right. I mean, you know, it makes me feel like there was some kind of mental disorder going on. That's why I believe he was so easily enthralled with addiction. Now, let me get off of him and speak on his mother. Okay, Black mothers, I love you. Shouts to La Vista. Black mothers, I love you. I don't know you. I don't want to fight your ass. You know, I don't know some, because I know some of you bitches will take me down. Okay, some of y'all be in my DMs, but some of y'all will take me down. Black women, to me, have such a slave mentality when it comes to rearing their children. They believe that they will beat their child in submission. It now becomes a challenge to them. Okay, it's a competition to them where they're saying, or where the mother is saying, no, you won't break me. I will break you before you break me. That is slave mentality. Massa say your name is Toby. No, my name is Kunta Kinte. Psh, psh, your name is Toby. Kunta Kinte. Psh, psh, psh. I mean, that's the mentality that I'm talking about. And I'm talking to you. Some of you mothers who believe that beating the shit out of your children is going to break them. Why do you want to break your child? Why do you want to do that? Because all you're doing is creating a monster. Now, I understand that you have to do some form of discipline in order to, you know, do some type of correction. But when you're literally beating your child into submission, bruh, that's slave mentality. He said that on the weekends, he found refuge at his grandmother's house on the other side of town. Like many of us did, okay? Our mothers would, you know, do whatever it is they would do, you know, beat us up or something like that. But in our grandmother's eyes, we were all so precious. You know what I'm saying? Because your grandmother already made the mistakes that they did on your mammy or your daddy. Okay? So the mistakes that they made on their mammy or their daddy, they don't want to do that with their grandchildren, right? So all he received was love, right? And in his grandmother's eyes, his grandmother thought of him as perfect. And in her eyes, he always wanted to be perfect. I love you, Grandma. I love you for everything you did. Every ass whooping you saved me from. For every time that Mr. Charlie knocked on the door and you told me to go in the room and play. And I didn't want to go because I wanted to be stuck up under your ass. And you had to look at Mr. Charlie and be like, Mr. Charlie, maybe, you know, today is not the day because my granddaughter ain't going nowhere. Never! I ain't going nowhere. You can't have my grandma. I don't know what the fuck you doing to my grandma. Now, at 7, this man is stealing dogs and flicking knives, okay? When he said I actually could flick the knife, I could flick it. I was like, flick the knife? Nigga, what is so special about flicking knives? But he crazy, okay? He is crazy. Shout to La Vista, to the DMX. We ain't got to the drugs part, but all I'm saying is I have mad respect for the man, but he crazy. I believe a lot of this bad behavior was because of some form of undiagnosed mental disorder and the anger that he had towards his mother for how bad she beat him. You know, my thing is, and before you get to the point where you treat your child like you the master and he the slave, why don't you take him to therapy first? You know, I'm talking to some of you mothers, you know, and I know you like, she ain't talking to me. No, I'm not talking to you if you already know what the deal is. But if you don't know what the deal is, before you beat the children, take him to a therapist. Find out what's going on with him first. Also, you know, at 7 years old, you know, while he was, you know, stealing dogs and flicking knives, his father moved to Philly and never looked back, leaving him alone with his abusive mother. You know, I know so many abusive men who did not want to be their father, but ended up being just like their father. You know what I'm saying? I know so many men that are effed up in the head, you know, either they are, you know, invisible to their children, or they're womanizers because they seen how their father act. Man, I'll never be like that. I'll never be like my dad. Okay, but they end up being just like their dad. So at 11 years old, he was out of control, and his mother decided to send him to a youth center for at-risk youth. Okay, in 1982, his mammy threw him in a trick bag. son, come on. We about to go on a picnic. We about to have a ride. Him, his mammy, and his sister got in the car. Okay, 3 got out, but only 2 got in. He felt so betrayed. He felt so betrayed. And I'm telling you, it be the little things in life that can change you forever. Okay. Abandonment, I believe, was a huge issue when it came down to him and how he coped in life, you know, and he used addiction to cope with those abandonment issues. Okay. Then he went on that bitch and y'all Van Zandt. You know I don't like that buckle boot bitch. I can't stand her ass. She ain't solved nothing. She never do. She don't solve nothing. Okay? All she do is just make you feel like you inadequate. You know, but anyway, at 11 years old, he has no ambitions outside of the streets because there weren't many mentors around that would lead him outside of the streets. So at 11 years old, he don't have no ambitions. Okay, because in his mind, there was not a lot of things for him to do. You know, you was either a rapper or some kind of athlete, you know. I always feel like that's a cop-out to me because there are plenty of avenues to take. All you have to do is just pick your avenue that you want to take. Most of these men don't want to be 9-to-5 type dudes. You know, a lot of men don't want to put the work in, especially when you're from the streets. They want that easy, quick money. Back then, there was no such thing as a YouTube, I don't believe. There was no such thing as streaming platforms, okay? So the way that young people can get their music out there now, they didn't have those opportunities. But still, I kind of get mad at men for only thinking that the only thing they can do is sell crack or whatever it is the drug of choice is in that area. Spin records, you know, write rhymes, you know, be a rapper or a basketball player. That's unfortunate. You could be regular, you know, or if you don't want to be regular, baby, let's get these grades up so then that way you can be a doctor, something, you know. But I know you're saying, you know, it's just easy like that, but it's a lot of people out here that have children that shouldn't. Because they don't know what to, now they know how to push it out their pussy. They know how to have a man to crawl on top of them and hunch them, push it out their pussy. And then, you know, all right, feed them infant meal or whatever it is they do. But they don't know how to groom a child properly so that they will have the tools to be successful. Originally, DMX was a beatboxer. Okay. Then when he got out of reform school, he teamed up with a local rapper by the name of Ready Ron. Together, they would battle different kids from different areas. And Ready Ron was the rapper and DMX was the beatboxer. Okay. This is where he tells the story about how he ended up smoking crack. DMX, you're a liar. Okay, we don't believe you. You're going to need more people because he has told this story so many times and each time it's been a little different. Okay, now the dude who was supposedly turned him out and gave him them, what they call them things? Not woolies. What do they call them when you, I don't know. Anyway, you know, or, yeah, we call them woolies. Right? That's the marijuana laced with crack. Now, one thing, I'm not a crack smoker, but what I do know is that crack cracks. Okay? He said on one show that I've heard him say before, matter of fact, I think it was on this particular documentary, he said he had never done drugs before. Never. He tells the story so many times where he was like, I was never a weed smoker. I was a pure kid. I never did drugs, ever, ever, ever. Okay. Then he tells the story again where he says, well, I just smoked a little bit of weed, you know, and then he gave me the marijuana stick and, you know, I smoked it and I found out I was smoking a wooly. First of all, crack cracks. Okay. Like I said, crack quacks. I ain't never smoked the shit, but I've heard it before and it crackles. Okay. You smoking it. Okay. And you saying, ooh, yeah, this is crackling. This is crackling. Now moving forward, now he's smoking crack. Crack because he don't need the weed no more. He ain't doing woolies. Fuck that. Let me just smoke on the crack. Okay. And stealing pocketbooks and strong arming dudes. Okay. Eventually he would end up in a juvenile detention center. Okay. This dummy would rob people in his neighborhood. You dummy. Why would you do that? Let me tell you what the youngins do. Okay. Them DC youngins, now this is back in the day, because I don't know these niggas like that no more, okay? At least not these young dudes, okay? But they would go to Montgomery County, you know, where all the suburbs are, okay? Go there and rob them. Why would you rob somebody in your neighborhood? Now, I'm not teaching you people how to rob now. I'm not telling you what to do. But this dummy would rob people in the radius of where he lived. That was stupid. That was stupid, DMX. You go outside of the jurisdiction so that you can rob people and can't nobody pin your ass. Okay? You robbing Miss Mary. Miss Mary live next door. You think she not gonna be like, oh God, oh. Miss Mary gonna get your ass. She gonna call the police because she know your name, stupid. Another thing. Why would you rob from the people that live in the hood with you? They ain't got shit neither, dummy. That's why you go out to the suburbs. Okay? You go to the suburbs. Right? And rob them youngins. So now he's in jail, okay, at a youth center, okay. He is no longer a big boxer. He rapping, okay. He's a rapper. So in 1989, DMX ran into a Tashir, okay. She was tolerating of his addictions. She said that she would never leave DMX over drug use. Answer no, okay? I'm sorry, Tashir, I don't know you. I'm not meaning no disrespect, okay? But that's word, okay? For a woman to know that he smoked crack, girl, one of the most addicting drugs out there. Do people even still smoke crack? I don't know. I think they all graduated to angel dust or the PCP, okay? But that's strange to me, you know? And I think out of love for Tashir, he had decided to not throw her under the bus because she just kind of have a drug addiction look. And I know you like, Nay, what drug addiction look like? Sure. But DMX was enamored with her because to him, she was old fly girl. Child, anyway, that was attracted to bad boys. All right, sure. Like I said, I don't know you. I would love to know what her sign was or is. Okay. Probably a Libra, all right? Because we put up with a whole bunch of bullshit, right? Okay? Now, nonetheless, their first child was born before his 22nd birthday. DMX was determined to be the man to his child that his father was not to him. Now, I said that earlier, okay? But the fact of the matter is this. He only got one child right here, okay? I don't get it. You got one child, right? You got every opportunity to be the man that you can be, okay, with that one child. But you fuck it up, okay? You travel the world, you find all these dumb broads that's willing to, you know, sleep with you despite you smoking crack. Man, I know that DMX is the sexiest rapper in the world. He make, oh my God, it's just something about him. Oh, excuse me, DMX was thinking about your pickle and you not alive no more. I'm sorry. Prince Stephens said that man would, you know, hunt her and then like bite her. He's working at the post office part-time, right? Now, he was trying to let that street stuff go, but he couldn't. The streets was calling him. They calling him. So he collected a couple of checks. Now he ain't working no more. He back in the damn streets, right? Shortly after that, he back in jail. DMX reminds me of Whitney Houston a lot, okay? Because Whitney Houston was really heavy into her faith. Now, I mean, you can't worship the Lord just because you smoke crack or, you know, have addiction issues. That's not what I'm saying. But I believe that that's what helped him to stay centered and grounded in situations, okay? Because like I said, I believe that there was some bipolar issues going on with him. Now, I ain't no doctor, you know, but I don't want to bash him because there were obviously some kind of mental health concerns going on. We know that because of the Iyanla bitch. Okay? Now, a year later, after his vision, he is back with his girl and son and rededicated his life to the rap game. Okay, so he like, all right, I'm not going back to the streets. Okay, all I'm gonna do is just go for this rapping thing and we're gonna make this work. Next, he's hooking up with a management group called the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders were also from the streets, so they shared the same passion and ambition to escape the streets. Now DMX is traveling all over continuing to battle rap. All right. He feels invincible, but record labels aren't messing with him. You know why? Because they see DMX as a liability. Brother. They don't know whether, you're going to come to the studio to, drop a 10, okay? Or you're going to rob them. So they don't know what to expect from you. And I don't blame you. I don't want nobody in my house that I got to watch them and put my damn pocketbooks up and stuff like that. I don't want that. People who was close to him admitted that his addiction was a problem. They said that we would all be hanging out, having fun. Then he started drinking, then smoking weed. Next minute you know, his ass is on a tour. Okay? Y'all know what I mean about a tour? A crack tour is when they get missing for a couple of days. They binging. Okay? That's what that means. I'm on tour. All right? Where you been, DMX? I've been on tour. Okay? I've been looking for something. And I found it. They said that, it'd be time to take care of business, right? And then, all his friends would be like, have you seen D? Have you seen D? Have you seen? Yeah, he up there on the 5th floor, in the hallway, doing him. So they would have to go get him and take him to the studio. So addiction has always been a problem with him. In the summer of 1994, his grandmother was diagnosed with bone cancer and he got sober for her. 3 months later, she died. He plummeted back into addiction. He said tearfully, he did not feel like he would ever be anyone's baby again. Now, while he is recovering from this brutal beating, Irv Gotti is coming through telling him, I'm about to get this job at Def Jam. Okay? Just hold tight. When Irv got in, he went to one of the exec dudes named Leo something. Anyway, some rich white man, right? And said, we got to get this dude, DMX. The exec went to Yonkers looking for DMX. Now, Mr. Rich White Man is in the studio. He said it was rappers everywhere. So DMX's jaw was wired shut, but he was the one who stood out among them all. Why? Because he was rapping so hard that Mr. Rich White Man said that you could hear the wires popping. I said, oh, that's a nigga that will get the job done for you. He was like, oh, yes, DMX, here's another black man's money I can steal. Sign him immediately. His first single was Get At Me Dog, one of the craziest beats ever. According to DMX, everybody wanted to be like him, a hard street rapper. In 1998, DMX is in heavy rotation. His aggression resonates with the streets. His first album, Dark and Hell is Hot. Wait a minute, it's Dark and Hell is Hot, went platinum. I think that's the name of it. Did I say it right, y'all? I'm sure y'all will fix it because that's what you niggas do on YouTube. Y'all wait for an opportunity to correct a mud hunchy, but do you. Him and his boo is moving on up, okay? Now, but it took Tashur a minute to get it, right? Or to understand it. Tashur went around there to buy her a $500 car, a putt-putt, or, whatever, you go. All right, according to Tashur was like, I don't even think he was doing drugs, because the issues that he was having were not, prevalent right in front of me because he was living a great life. He had everything that he wanted in life, and then he started talking about marriage. The thing about it is when you're dealing with depression just don't go away, you have good days and maybe you'll have more good days than bad days, but depression just don't go away because something is broke in your brain. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, for you to be depressed or have any kind of mental health concern. What I'm saying is get that fixed first before you run out there and get some marijuana because you done turn into a goddamn weed head, because you can't focus. Now, in 1999, he is wealthy, okay? And he is sharing the wealth with his family. I will say this. Women, we have heard this 1,000 times. You should not have to go through hell in order to reap the benefits of a man that you've been down with from the start. We need to start being like, if you don't respect me, I don't respect you. If you don't like me, I don't like you. Now, it's hard for us to cheat on men, especially the man that we love, but you can't. It's not right. I hate the way women believe that if they stay down for a ninja, then the reward is marriage. That's not a reward to me. Marriage ain't a reward to me. Shh. Fuck my credit up. Now the money is fueling the addiction. Smoking crack and being broke is one thing, but smoking crack and being rich is another. There was Uncle Ray. Okay, Uncle Ray and Tashur had went to go help DMX because DMX was in a hotel room smoking up all the crack, right? And I'm not trying to be funny, but addiction is what it is, right? So anyway, Uncle Ray came, right? Tashur knew that he had a gun, right? DMX called her talking about people are chasing him, all right? But they say that crack make you crazy, okay? That make you think that people is following you around and ain't nobody following your ass around but your shadow. She convinces him, just come on down, baby, just come on out, right? What ends up happening is he starts lunching, pulls out the pistol and accidentally shot Uncle Ray in the foot. Uncle Ray ain't pressing charges because that's not what you do, right? The police come, find out, what's going on, Uncle Ray. I don't know. I just got shot in the foot, right? But it don't matter because the hotel people seen that DMX and his wife was in there and they was together, okay? And DMX was acting a daggone fool, right? So now DMX and Tashur on the run. Now the wife and the DMX are on the run. Eventually the crime was related to DMX and a warrant was issued for the home. They found drugs and guns. And Tashur, well, if you're not a user, why is there drugs and guns in the house? But let me shut the fuck up because sometimes you mess with a drug dealer, you don't know what the nigga got going on in the house. His third album in 1999, and then There Was X, went #1. This is his third #1 album that included Party Up. Now he's a pop star. Okay, so that's even more women out there that want to suck his pickle. So in 2003, he got 2 more #1 albums and 2 movies. Romeo Must Die and X and Wounds. Okay, my favorite was it Exit Wounds? Yeah, my favorite was Exit Wounds. Okay, and then he did Cradle to the Grave. He was slated to be the next action hero. DMX was making $5 million per movie. Oh, he remained in and out of jail for drug possession, weapon charges, impersonating an FBI agent. Who the hell would want to impersonate an FBI agent? Who the hell would want to do that? What? Why, Clarence? Why? He probably had got jugged out some drugs and he was like, ooh, let me pretend I'm an FBI agent. Maybe they'll act right. Because that's the only reason why I'm like, why the hell would you even act like an FBI agent? DMX admits that the power and fame gave him little regard for the law. Okay? Again, why the hell did you want to be an FBI agent? Why for? Now, child, he's still married to Tashur and he started to get hit in the head with paternity suits everywhere. I'm like, Ninja, pull out. What the fuck? Tashur stuck with him. Girl. The wife said that she would never leave him for drugs, right? And I'm going to give you the side eye like I did before. I don't understand. But she said, babies, that's the end of the line. Child, he died still married to Tashur. Tashur, you full of shit. Tashur, he was a fiance to a whole nother woman. These are the games that ninjas play. Why when DMX, when you became the fiance to another woman, why in the hell didn't you get a divorce? So after his release from jail, he's performing at the 2009 Hip Hop Awards, reminding us of how vicious he is. Man, the DMX is just vicious spirit. Okay? There's ladies, man. It's just something about a man that bark when he, knocking you down. Like I said, again, I have mad respect and mad love for DMX. I meant no disrespect to this man. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, and subscribe because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. Now, remember this. The same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves you, babies. Have a good one. Y'all can't tell me shit. My doctor fixed my tooth. Because he did it. He lined it up, but he lined it up diagonal, child. And I went to go see him. He was like, ooh, why did I do that? I don't know, doctor. Fix it, baby. Okay. Bye, y'all.